I'm Ryan Rabel. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Texas. Thank you for coming. This week, 9 individuals, including well-known musical artists, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas, Texas. 8 of the 9 were arrested yesterday in Dallas, Memphis, and Nashville. These individuals who are charged and arrested include Lontrell Williams Jr., also known as Pooh Shiesty, Lontrell Williams Sr., Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, Kadarius Waters, Demarion Gibson, DeMarcus Glover, Corday Johnson, Darian McDaniel, and Terrence Rogers has not been arrested yet, but will be soon. The complaint alleges that on January 10th of this year, 3 music industry professionals traveled to Dallas for a scheduled business meeting. Lontrell Williams Jr. arranged this meeting purportedly to discuss the terms of his recording contract with one of the victims. As alleged, once these 3 men were inside the recording studio, Williams Jr. and 8 co-conspirators, several of whom traveled from Memphis, Tennessee, executed a coordinated armed takeover. As alleged, Williams Jr. produced an AK-style pistol and forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract at gunpoint. The remaining conspirators displayed firearms and robbed the other victims of Rolex watches, jewelry, cash, and other high-value items.
Welcome back to the channel. So this popped up on my feed, mainly because it's prominent, but I'm also in the city of Dallas. So Pooh Shiesty out here pulling Suge Knight moves, you know. I don't really follow Pooh Shiesty or Gucci Mane because that is who he robbed. That's who he held at gunpoint, supposedly, allegedly, and who he had to sign a release. I didn't even know Pooh was signed to Gucci. I don't listen to neither one of them niggas. So I find it amusing that when you sign contracts in the music game, it seems like hip hop is the only one where if you're trying to get something done, you might have to resort to violence to get it done. Whether it's Suge holding Vanilla Ice off the edge of a building, supposedly, allegedly, Puff doing what he does, Jay being a sneak, allegedly. I just kind of find it a little tough to believe that hip hop is like that. But apparently it is. So, allegedly, Pooh and his father and like 7 other people robbed, there's a Big 30, I don't even know who Big 30 is. They robbed Gucci and some other people and then tried to get him out of his contract. My thing is, let's just say for Gits and Shiggles, I'm listening to a little bit more of this. This video is 14 minutes long. I will link it down below in the description. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. If Gucci don't sign the contract, what's the next step? What's plan B? So if he don't sign the release, rather, if he says that, nah, I'm not signing that shit, you locked into this contract, nigga. You got 5 more albums before you can even break even. You got to get to work, get in that studio. Matter of fact, we in the studio right now. You need to be in the booth. Trying to rob me, trying to make me sign this release. Get your ass in the booth. You got albums to make. Pooh was locked up for a minute, right? So you hadn't been in a position to make music, and you might be obligated to fulfill this contract, dog. I'm sure there was some money that was given to you up front that you probably done spent and did some dumb shit with. Okay, well, the label got to get their money back. So if Gucci don't sign this release, then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna actually rat-a-tat-tat, and then you up Schitt's Creek? So you would rather be in prison for unaliving Gucci Mane as opposed to being tied down to a record contract? I don't understand that. And the muscling, I think it's a little, I guess you could say a little gangster, and definitely hood to do that with your father, though. That's kind of crazy. Y'all robbing Gucci Mane. By father and son bonding moment, robbing Gucci Mane. That's crazy as hell.
One of the victims was actually choked by one of the defendants to the point of near unconsciousness. Defendant Wright barricaded the studio door with his body to prevent the victims from escaping. The ringleader of the conspiracy, Lontrell Williams Jr., was on home confinement at the time of the offense, as alleged for a prior firearms conspiracy charge and conviction out of the Southern District of Florida. Towards the end of his prison sentence, he had been granted home detention. Part of the terms of his home detention were that he would not commit another federal offense or possess a firearm.
That's crazy as hell. Let me see something real quick. There was something, I saw an article. Let me see if I can pull that article up real quick. All right, rapper Gucci Mane allegedly robbed, kidnapped in Dallas. Kidnapped, that's crazy. By other rappers including Pooh Shiesty and Big 30. Rapper Gucci Mane, whose real name is Radrick Davis, was allegedly robbed and kidnapped by rappers Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 in Dallas. I wonder what part of Dallas that they did this. I'm sure it's probably like Oak Cliff, some shit like that. DOJ said Thursday that 9 people, including the aforementioned rappers, kidnapped and robbed at gunpoint numerous victims at a music studio in Dallas. 89 suspects were arrested. That other dude, man, on the run. So there's all the people that was arrested. As you see, son, father combination. This Rodney Wright dude, Big 30, whoever he is, and a bunch of other African Americans. Those don't look like no Caucasian names. Pooh Shiesty, whose real name is Lontrell Denell Williams Jr., arranged the meeting, so he just basically set him up or whatever. That's the one of the dudes that I guess was choked. So damn, Gucci was in the studio with like white people. He wasn't in there with just a whole bunch of hood niggas. That's crazy, dog. Then they took Rolexes and whatnot. The dude that got choked out, I guess, is right here. Big 30 barricaded the door. He was already in trouble, or basically under house arrest. I'll link all this down below in the description. This is crazy. I don't think Linkin Park or none of them cats like that be doing business like this. And if they do, I guess it's all under wraps. I think that there's better ways that you can potentially get out of a contract if it was just that bad of a contract. But this also lends me to say that just how old is it? Let me just see while I'm thinking about this. How old is Pooh Shiesty? Because when you think about these young rappers, they get all these millions of dollars that at one point in time, just out of the blue, basically 26, out of the blue, basically, and all they got to do is sign their name on a dotted line. Well, these contracts are those words that's on those pages. They mean something. They don't pull up to these deals with no lawyer, none of that. They just say, "Oh, I can rap. You can pay me. Where do I sign?" So even if Gucci had a 360 deal on the table for Pooh didn't obviously read the contract, the fine print, to see what exactly that was going to be. Or even if he did and he was cool with it at that time, okay, well, you cool with it? If you and Gucci are not on good terms right now, whatever, it's still a business. So you might have to fulfill that contract, and then you can go on about your way. You're 26, so you're still young. Hey, you can just put out half-ass music. All of these other artists is doing the exact same thing. Just make some music, drop 3-4 albums. I think 50 Cent did it once. And he dropped like 2 albums at the same time or something, and he was able to fulfill his contract. Somebody did that. Maybe it was Kanye. I can't remember. But somebody, I felt like they dropped like a double album, but it was like branded as 2 albums, so they was able to fulfill their contract. Maybe it wasn't 50 or Kanye. Maybe it was one of them young niggas. I can't remember. Neither here nor there. If you sign a contract, you gotta fulfill it. I'm sorry. Because if you pull a jack move like this, I don't understand how that is. I don't get the logic. You pulling up with guns to try to get this release signed. Gucci is not the type of cat that is just gonna let you pull up with guns. And even if he did sign a release, he's gonna try to get that back in blood. You know, he got a body on him, dog. That's the Gucci don't work like that. He got a couple screws loose. I'm starting to think that Gucci, that might not even be the real Gucci. They were saying that he was cloned after he got out. Cause I feel like the old Gucci, you know, before he had the teeth and he still had the beer gut, I feel like that Gucci, we've been talking about him being unalive because he would have crashed out even with the guns in his face. I don't know. This is crazy. I just think that we can be a bit more diplomatic, man. I mean, times has changed. We don't have to operate like this and be all gangster with it, all gangster wild with it.
Get all gangster wild with it and shit, right?
Come on, man. This ain't The Wire. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this down below in the comments. If you think about it at all. If you don't, then don't. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. I do appreciate you for watching as usual. See you on the next one.